Does he have enough fuel? Can he get the run off turn 4? Kyle Tom in the race lead. Does he have enough? Into 3 and 4, both these drivers both saving in the entire run. Can he stretch enough fuel? Parker loose on the bottom. He's going to lose it. Kyle Tom, he's going to save enough fuel. He's going to win at Fontana.
Have to keep an eye on it. Just about he's going to get a good run, but Parker's going to shut the door. Behind him, there's Porter and Moreno.
Moreno's going to dive to the inside. They're making contact for the lead with Porter and Moreno. But Parker, he's going to have a run. Does he down in 3? He's going to go 3 wide. 3 wide for the teammates for the lead. Drag race to the line. Jaden Porter is going to win it. Libby goes right off turn 2. Happy goes right as well. Big Craft is behind him. Cole Snyder is going to win the season opener at Atlanta. Down the back straightaway, here comes the outside lane. Cole Snyder getting pushed by Cody McCorkle. Nathan Lehman in the lead on the bottom with Giovanni Klein pushing. Zachary Meriden right there in third. Coming to the trial in a little time. It's Nathan Lehman. Lies going to try and pull the side trap right at the line. Nathan Lehman is going to pick up the win. Ritter tries to clear. Almost clears himself, making contact with Klein. Klein gets to the wall.
Oh, Adams! Tell you what.
A big move.
What a move there.
Clay Parker, side by side, to the line. It's going to be a drag race. They both win out. They get pushed by Happyhead across the line by 1/1000th of a second. But Jonathan Parker, he locked it up in the end of stage 1. Jonathan Parker, our season 5 champion. Welcome to the virtual America's Home for Racing tonight here at the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway. Tonight we crown our champion for the NAOR Cup Series Season 6, the season finale here tonight for race number 26. And tonight, entering tonight, Jonathan Parker with a 20-point lead over the rest of his championship for contenders. And I believe with tonight, he has clinched the championship heading into tonight as we were getting ready to crown our final DI9 Designs Pole Award winner here at Charlotte for the final time this season. 8 drivers looking to take try to get their final pole of final pole of the season. And we'll see who will be able to take it. First up on the track here is Chase McGuire, and these drivers have 1 lap of qualifying. They have 5 minutes to set their 1 lap, as we'll see who can put it on the pole for tonight's race. So we have 132 laps here tonight for the final race of the season. It's been a long season, starting all the way back into the late spring, early summer. I think comes to an end here 26 weeks later here tonight at the virtual America's Home for Racing here at the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway. Chase McGuire to start his first lap here, lap number 1 down into turn number 1. He'll stay up out of the higher part of the racetrack here, right to the middle. He'll angle it right down to the bottom of the racetrack, wrap that blue and white line on the bottom. They'll get it right back up to the outside wall, keep off a little bit off the wall, just a little bit. Don't want to get side draft by the wall a little bit. Could have a little bit of wall proximity there. But down into turn number 3, he's going to drive it right down to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to wrap the bottom. Looks like he might get a little bit tight. To watch the wall off of turn number 4 here. Chase McGuire, though, coming to the line, looking pretty strong here. At the line, Chase McGuire will run a 24.499. They'll currently go P1 on the board. As we'll see now, Josh Arnold, as he just runs a 29.690. I believe that was an invalidated lap time for Josh Arnold. He will have to start from the back tonight. Mark Kisselweather, one of the 4 championship contenders, and he comes across the line and complete his qualifying lap with a 29.476. He will go to the top of the board. Josh Adams, Mike Campbell rolling out of the racetrack. Mike Campbell currently on his out lap here in turn number 3 and number 4. These drivers have set a lap so far. Mike Campbell starts his lap here, lap number 1, down into turn number 1. This was a lot better than what we saw with Chase McGuire. Looked a little bit smoother on the apron, kind of on the bottom of the racetrack there. Wrapped the blue line there pretty closely on the bottom. Gets a wider arc here in 3 and 4. It looked like he lost the nose a little bit though. Missed the bottom in 3 and 4. We'll see if he can kind of regain it off of 4. Stays really far off the wall. Looked like he may have got really tight. Into the line, Mike Campbell, day 29.807. He'll jump to P4 on the board. Josh Adams, the next driver on his lap, down into turn number 3 and 4. He's gonna stick to the top lane. He's gonna keep it off the wall, though, right up against that outside wall. He's gonna try and cut it down, trying to get an arc off the corner. Is the top lane going to be quicker for Josh Adams? We'll find out coming to the line. It's a 29-5-11. It will not. It'll go to P3 on the board for Josh Adams. Jonathan Parker, the only driver left on the racetrack currently right now. Still 4 drivers left to take to the racetrack. Steven Maggio, Ethan Moreno, John Osborne, and David Hari. Jonathan Parker, last one on the racetrack for now. Looks like he got a little bit loose. Almost got to the outside wall there, but he stayed to the top lane in 1 and 2. We'll see what he does here in 3 and 4. Do the same thing as Josh Adams saying, going to keep it up as he gets the outside wall here in turn number 1 and 2. See if it's going to be enough for pole. Jonathan Parker to the line. It will not be the pole. 29-7-7-8 for Jonathan Parker. He will jump to. He'll only go to P5 and only beat Mike Gamble there. He'll continue running some laps. So now it goes back to no other driver out on the racetrack currently, as we have 1 minute left in qualifying. So that is going to wrap it up, and no one else is going to be able to complete their get out on the racetrack and complete their lap. So that means Mark Kisser with a 29.476 will be the final driver to claim the DI Designs Pole Award for the Season 6 of the NAOR Cup Series season. As Mark Kissweather, our pole sitter for tonight. So qualifying just wrapping up here in the next 20 seconds or so, but Mark Kissweather, the final pole award winner of the season. So along 26 races to get to this moment. We saw the last 2 weeks. We saw the first 2 rounds of our championship 4. Was Jonathan Parker able to really build his lead over the rest of the past few weeks? So these drivers will grid up for the final time this season as our final 4 competitors here tonight. Jonathan Parker, Josh Arnold, Mark Kissweather, those 3 being 3 of our championship 4, and Cole Steiner being the last one of our championship 4, but Cole Steiner not attending tonight's race, so Cole Steiner will not be trying to gain any more points, but Jonathan Parker with a 20-point advantage into tonight. He has already clinched the championship, so Jonathan Parker will go back-to-back and be back-to-back in our Cup Series champion.
Thank
as
you,
he will
everybody,
win it
for showing
one
up tonight,
more
for
time.
this.
So Mark Kissweather, Chase McGuire will be on the front row. Now let's take it one more time for the final time this season's for tonight's Coulter's Cards starting lineup here from Charlotte. As Mark Kissweather, as we just saw, put it on the pole with a 29.476, and Chase McGuire with a second, 22 thousandths of a second off that. We'll finish second tonight. Starting in third will be, apologies. Starting in third will be the 12 Josh Adams, and in the 12 machine, in the 22 Josh Arnold will start in fourth tonight. Starting fifth, the last driver to set a qualifying time will be the 71 of Mike Gamble. Kevin Hari will line up sixth tonight in that 72 machine. 36 on the race car there, so there might be a little confusion there. But Steven Maggio, the 51, he'll start 7th tonight. Jonathan Parker will start 8th tonight after he actually got the wall on his lap. So Ethan Moreno, he'll start 9th tonight. And John Osborne rounded at the top 10, around our 10 car field here for tonight. Drivers getting ready to roll off for the final time of this season. We're going to take a quick, short, about 10-second break here. We'll be right back. Welcome back here to Charlotte for tonight's final season finale for season 6 of the NAOR Cup Series. So 10 cars taking tonight for 132 laps here, just a tad under 200 miles. What do you Mark Kissweather? We'll see. Can he go out on top and get his final win on the season? Final race. All these drivers looking to get one more win to cap out their season, even if it's not the championship. They just want to try and end this season, no matter how bad or good it has been. They try to end it on a good note with the final win on the year. Jonathan Parker has already locked up the championship. Can he go out and win one more race this season? We're going to win one more. But it'll be Mark Kissweather in Chase McGuire on the front row once we get back to the start-finish line. The final race of Season 6 of the NAOR Cup Series. Jonathan Parker, already our champion. I do have two stages as usual. The 25 and 50% marks of the race. It'll be Mark Kissweather, Chase McGuire on the front row for the final race of the season. Here at Charlotte, the iRacing Pace Truck will take the hard left turn on the pit road into the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. And we are on the way for the season finale here from Charlotte. Down the back straightaway for the first time. They single file out for the top three as Josh Adams already jumps up to second. Tries to look to the inside of Martin Kissweather to try to take the race away in turn 3 and 4. Not going to be able to do it though, but they're going to be side by side with Steve Maggio and Mike Campbell for that 4th place spot for now. It looks like Campbell will slot behind Steve Maggio as they single file out very quickly. Campbell and Hardy making a move on Josh Arnold here back for that 8th place position. Only 9 drivers that took the grid and continue on this racetrack tonight. Now Josh Adams looking at our attack there for Chase McGuire. Chase McGuire, not the start he wanted, starting to fall back a little bit already. He falls a little bit behind Josh Adams as he tries to slot in line. Trying to get to the outside though. Try to find a way around here early. Goes back to the top lane of turn number 1 and 2, but it looks like he may just try and find the clean air. Clean air going to be a big factor. We've seen it multiple times this season. Just clear. Oh, it's Steven Maggio hard to the outside wall! And a hard overcorrect into the outside wall, and brings out the first caution tonight here on lap number 3. Steve Maggio, big damage already. That brings out our first Jones Paints Designs caution of the night. As Steve Maggio. Let's take a look at what happened there. Getting down to turn number 1 and 2 here is right behind both Josh Adams and Chase McGuire. Just got loose, overcorrected hard on the outside wall. Mike Campbell barely avoiding that there. Great avoidance there. Barely shooting the gap between the wall and Steve Maggio right there. Lucky he was able to make it through, but Steve Maggio heavy front end damage there. He's going to have to come down and take that damage there. I might have some wheel damage, but he could only have some front end damage, but that's definitely going to be a lot to fix there. But no one will. But we do have about a half the field coming down pit road. Mike Campbell and on back will come back. Obviously, Steve Maggio coming down pit road as he has a lot of damage to fix after that incident there. But single car spin brings in our first caution of the night. Mike Campbell overdriving his stall a little bit there. But it looks like it does topping off on fuel for John Osborne there. And Mike Campbell as well. Josh Arnold looks like he's fixing some damage. I wonder if he got the wall just kind of sitting in a bit red there. Early yellow here in Charlotte. But it is Mark Kissweather still out in the race lead. But Jonathan Barker did not get the qualifying up for. He's still set up in 4th, so he's worked his way up already pretty strongly. See how well he can run tonight to see if he can maybe win and also take the championship home tonight. Already locked up the championship for Jonathan Parker, so looking just to try and go out with another win. So all these drivers looking to do the same. This time by, we'll take the 1-to-go signal here with the RSA pace truck out in front. Marquez Weather, Josh Adams will be on the front row for this restart here. It'll be Chase McGuire and Jonathan Barker sitting in 3rd and 4th. John Osborne, did give it a hurry. John Osborne running up in 5th and 6th. It'll be Mike Campbell and Josh Arnold riding out 7th and 8th there. And Steve Maggio still in pit road. Looking like he's trying to fix damage. I'm not sure if he will be out of the car. He's still in the race car there. But Steve Maggio, we'll see if he continues to run tonight, and if he'll just call the night after that incident there. Early incident on there brings us our first yellow of the night. We'll see how well the rest of this race will go, but still a long way to go. So we're going to have multiple pit stops tonight as well. See a couple of the drivers top it up on fuel, so we'll see if they maybe could make it on a one-stop strategy. I don't think the fuel is that close here tonight, but we'll see how that plays out. But this is significantly shorter than what we saw there in the season here in Charlotte, so see who will be able to kind of adapt to the shorter lane here tonight. But the RSC pace truck will take that hard left turn on the pit road once again here tonight. Mark Kissweather, Josh Adams will lead him back to the green, and green flag back in the air. Good launch from Mark Kissweather, but Josh Adams going to go around instantly on the restart, and he'll bring the caution out. Looks like they spun the tires there. Brings in a second caution of the night already. There's Steven Maggio. He'll come out of pit road 2 laps down. Let's take a look at what happened there with Josh Adams. So it looks like maybe just spun the tires on the restart. Just didn't get really going, and then, yeah, just spun the tires. Chase McGuire did the same as well on behind the race leader of Mark Kissweather. And just, unfortunately, just spun him around, and that brings in our second yellow of the night. He'll catch back up, but that brings us the second caution night. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here from Charlotte. Welcome back here to Charlotte at the virtual America's Home for Racing. Tonight we are wrapping up this NAOR Cup Series Season 6 here tonight, race number 26 of the season. As tonight we do crown our champion of Jonathan Parker, as he had a 20-point advantage heading in tonight, and he does have enough to maybe clinch that. He did at least earlier we only had 6 cars in the session, but we'll see if that is a possibility. But we'll see at the end of the stage 1, see how that plays out. But face car is off, green flag back in the air once again. Mark Kismet with a good launch over Jonathan Parker as they go down the front straightaway into turn 1. It'll be Chase Wire and Jonathan Parker side by side. But off at turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Chase Wire will slot in line. Single files out here pretty quickly, but Chase Wire trying to get back to Jonathan Parker. Really. Being a race leader, he still holds about a 2/10 gap over Jonathan Parker. Chase Wire just sitting right behind him as well, but they all stay single mile. Top 4 broken away a little bit here early on in this one already. Here on lap 14, Chase Wire will jump up to the middle lane there. We'll go side by side with Jonathan Parker. Parker will clear off at turn number 2, but down into turn number 3 and 4. Chase Wire will jump back to the bottom. Wrap that blue and white line there on the bottom of the racetrack. So far, Mark Kismet sitting in the lead right now. Jonathan Parker trying to work the outside lane, trying to get some cleaner off of the nose. Trying to find some other lanes to go. Get the outside lane working. Jonathan Parker is hunting down the back bumper of Mark Kismet. Still trying to find some clear on the top lane for now so far, but not able to just close the gap in just a little bit. Jonathan Parker now works to the outside of Mark Kismet here, side by side in a 1 and 2. See if Parker can get the move done off of 2, and it looks like he will. Yes, he will. Jonathan Parker is clear. He'll slot back in line down the back straightaway. Trying to get arc into 3 and 4. He'll try and cut under the dirty air of Jonathan Parker. Do 3 and 4, but not able to stick to the inside. And Jonathan Parker will try and set his sights forward and pull away for the rest of this race. The rest of the field. Kissler hunting down Parker still. So he actually works to the inside here in turn number 1 and 2. They're going to stay side by side. Officer number 2 down the back straightaway. John Parker holding pretty strong though. And he does clear into 3. So they're sitting right there behind Jonathan Parker, still not able to make much happen just yet. Can't find his way to the inside or outside of him. Just side by side here with Jonathan Parker. Side by side down the back straightaway. Further down to the bottom, try to see the inside of Jonathan Parker. He does off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Not going to be able to do it though. He'll slot behind Jonathan Parker still. But Jonathan Parker off of turn number 4 almost had a little bit of contest there for Marcus Wither. Holds the inside there side by side for 3rd behind. Josh Adams fights on through, trying to get up in front of Chase McGuire, and he does. They still stay side by side for the lead though, but Kissler will slot back behind to Hari now side by side with McGuire for that 4th place spot. That's now driving into turn number 3. So he will clear up in front of Chase McGuire, but they still stay side by side for the race lead now as Kissler are fighting back on the bottom. I think something happened for now, but they stay side by side down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Neither of them seem to get enough of an advantage, but Jonathan Parker's been running that top lane. I wonder if he'll be overheating his tires a little bit. And now he clears Jonathan Parker for the race lead. Marcus Weather to the lead now, and Jonathan Parker falling back to 2nd. Holds the lead as now he's starting to pull away a little bit, so it looks like he's saved a little bit better tires. So we have the Jonathan Parker, but also another driver coming up fast now is Gabriel NAOR. We saw him at one of his first races of the season at Las Vegas. It was a little bit slower through. He was a little bit slower through the short run, but he was really fast in the long run. And that seems to be where Gabriel NAOR really makes a lot of his time. On that longer run, and that seems to be where he is making his time up. He almost got to the inside, almost got by Josh Adams. So for the top 4 now single filed out through the rest of the field, and they have absolutely decimated the rest of the field right now. They are over 3 seconds back, for 3 seconds ahead of Chase Wire here in 5th. Got another second gap to Josh Arnold for 6th. John Osborne 6 seconds back off of Josh Arnold. And Mike Campbell 2 seconds off of John Osborne there. And Steve Macho is still running 13 laps down. So he is no doubt probably pretty much out of this one. Already 13 laps down. Had a chance for the win of this one, but he's going to run trying to pick up some extra points. Try to just get a better point position than what he can, if possible. Out in front, he seems to have a little bit of better long run pace right now, but here 33 laps into this one. Now, more to wait. So that will end almost stage 1 coming up here in the next couple laps or so. Just past it there. So that means Charlotte Marker will leave at that. If everyone tried to finish last for Mark Kissler to have a chance, I believe Jonathan Marker with that stage finish will no doubt clinch the championship now. So Jonathan Marker will be our season 6 champion. As we'll talk to him after, congratulate about his season and his champion. His championship. His back-to-back championships for Jonathan Marker. He's looking to crowd out one more time this season, and able to go out on one more win. But right now he's about 0.3 of a second behind Mark Kissler, 3.5 behind Mark Kissler for now. Last time by, Mark Kissler was about about a half a second slower. So it seems like these two are kind of trading lap times currently right now, so we'll see how that plays out. So far, looking strong for Mark Kissler. Jonathan Marker, Josh Adams, David Hardy, they're all staying pretty close. All four of them, all of them within striking distance of each other. Many of them made a mistake. The final race of the season. All these four like to be the favorites so far. To try and take one more win to cap out the year. Jonathan Marker and Mark Kissler, they're two of our final 4 drivers. Josh Adams just barely missed out on the final 4. He was already joining later in the season and had no chance of making the playoffs at all. Jonathan Marker, 2 cents behind Mark Kissler right now, trying to get there. Closing in. 2 cents of a second right now. 40 laps into this one. We'll kind of run through this kind of field. Probably not much really happening. Mark Kissler so far, our race leader, is one of our final 4 competitors, but he is 21 points out of the lead of Jonathan Marker. And he did gain a couple points there at the end of that stage. Just a couple laps to go, but it's not going to be enough to chip away a 20-point lead, especially with the limited car count tonight. And Jonathan Parker just finishes tonight's race. He is going to be our champion. Marcus, whether so whatever final 4 competitors just tonight, no wins on the season, so he's looking out to try and go out with try and get his first win of the year here at Charlotte. So he closed multiple times this season, but just came up short. Looking to win one just to cap off the season. He's at 8 top 5s, 15 top 10s here tonight. He does have 4 stage wins on the year, and now it makes it 5 after he won that last one just a couple laps ago. Now Jonathan Parker, though, under attack here from Josh Adams. He's really starting to struggle now here late in this one. Jonathan Parker falls back to 3rd as Josh Adams moves up to 2nd. Now David Hari trying to take advantage of that as well. So Jonathan Parker really starting to struggle here late into this run. Say side by side off of turn number 4. Dahari able to hold the bottom, but Jonathan Parker just barely holding the top lane. Now these drivers battle a little bit too much. It definitely will cost a lot of time to get to Josh Adams this but it looks like Dahari, he will clear Jonathan Parker for that 3rd place position there. So Jonathan Parker really starting to fall off that season. Last time by it was about 2 tenths slower than a race leader of Marcus Weather. So I don't think he's going to save his tires as well. He's hoped in this last run and this first at the tail end of this first run here. As they went through Mark Kissweather's season, now we'll go to Josh Adams here in 2nd this season so far. As tonight's 5th in the points, he was the first driver out, and it looks like he will clinch that as well. I've been able to catch up to him, but he will be the 5th place points finisher of the year, as he was just missed out on the championship floor. He has 1 win on the year. So he's looking to maybe try and get 1 more to get a 2nd place finish. Get a 2nd win on the year to round out this season. And Josh Adams has also had 1 stage win as well, along with that win. So 7 top 5s so far this season, and 15 top 10s entering tonight. So, and everyone just starting tonight will get another top 10 on the season tonight. So, not going to be too hard to get a top 10 here tonight. But David Hari now running 3rd currently right now. He joined later in the season. Back towards Vegas about a couple months ago. Now he did not have enough time to point his way into the playoffs or win his way into the playoffs. They were hard though, even with his limited starts. 23rd in points, and he'll jump up. Might be able to jump up in front of Chase McGuire. He'll jump up in front of a couple drivers tonight. In that starting, but David Hari tonight he's only he has 3 wins on the season since he's been here, since he joined. And he's had 3 stage runs as well, and also 4 top 10s and 4 top 5s entering tonight for David Hari. Jonathan Parker now our favorite, our champion later, and once we continue to complete the rest of this one here. And tonight as our points leader, 20 points low to Josh Arnold. And so tonight with 6 wins on the year, looking to get 1 more to cap off the year and make it number 7. It's his 11th stage wins on the year, 15 top 5s, and 17 top 6. It's easily the most top 5s out of anybody else on this on the year. He's the only driver in double-digit top 5s. And the next closest is Stephen Maggio at 9 top 5s. But that's all. But he has 6 more top 5s than anybody else in this season, and it just shows you how dominant he's been. Now Marcus Weather, actually, now as we're just going through the field, Marcus Weather comes down pit road for his first time tonight here on lap number 52. Gabriel Hari and Josh Adams, they both topped off on fuel 43 laps ago after that second yellow. Oh, but Marcus Weather overshoots the stall a little bit. That could cost him some time there. See if his strategy call will take 4 tires, so Marcus will jump. We'll take 4 tires. We'll see where he cycles out here, but he'll jump out of the pit box there to 53 laps. So I don't expect anyone to make it on a 1-stop race tonight. So everyone's gonna have to make a 2-stop race. Looks about 50 laps, about the max they can go here tonight. Jonathan Barker, he'll also dive down pit road along with Chase McGuire. So we'll see where they cycle out compared to our race leader, or well, our previous race leader of Mark Kissweather. So we'll see how Mark Kissweather does pit road. Maggio, Mike Gable also did come down pit road now. So Jonathan Parker making his first stop of the night, and Chase McGuire making his first as well. So everyone has made at least 1 pit stop tonight. But Marcus Weather will have to make another. And we have a caution out of the racetrack. Caution in the middle of pit cycles. Trying to find out who it was. Looks like it was on the front straightaway here. Not sure. Oh no, it's on the backstretch. Mike Campbell. Mike Campbell going around. Let's take a look. Got it on the apron a little bit there in turn number 1 and just hard on the inside wall and just went back up the racetrack. Locked out, trying to keep it on the racetrack, but brings out the caution, and that's going to shake up a lot of different strategies now. That's going to trap Jonathan Parker a lap down, Mark Kissweather a lap down. They'll have to take the wave around, no doubt, but brings out our 3rd caution of the night here. Our 3rd Jones Paint Designs caution flag of the night for here at Charlotte. Josh Adams able to get a free pit stop pretty much. He's able to hold the lead, so he will now cycle to the race lead. Josh Arnold will be the 2nd. But Jonathan Barker, Chase McGuire, Mark Kissweather all trapped at 1 lap down after that. Same with John Osborne. Actually, no, John Osborne sitting in 3rd, so if he stayed out a little bit longer, he'll be able to jump up to the top 3. So everybody else will come down pit road who did not pit under green. We'll see if Josh Adams can hold the lead off the pit road here. Gabriel Hari, though, he just came down pit road, I believe, so he actually might be able to stay out. He's going to be able to stay out here and take the lead. So perfect timing for that caution for Gabriel Hari, but Josh Adams, Josh Arnold, and John Osborne lead him out of pit road. But as we work our 3rd caution on it, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here from Charlotte. welcome, and welcome back here to to Charlotte here for the season finale of the NAOR Cup Series season. Josh Adams and Josh Arnold are going to be our front row here on this restart. As the caution during the pit cycle is going to shake up a lot. As Mike Campbell just come down the road and just pulled it in for the night. Same with Steve Maggio. So we're now down to 7 cars on running, and they're all on lead lap. Just a couple lap tire difference for a few of them. The green flag back in the air will be Josh Adams leads them back to green as everyone else single file having to take the wave around. And Josh Arnold will slot in line. No, he won't. Actually, he'll have John Osborne goes inside as they'll stay side by side down into turn number 1 and 2. Osborne quickly falling behind a little bit. Now he falls behind Jonathan Parker now as everyone goes around his outside. Josh Adams, our race leader right now, currently is Josh Arnold right behind him. Arnold trying to work the top lane. Tries to get the outside, gets to the outside wall a little bit, tags the wall. Down the back straightaway though. Be Arnold. Trying to look down to the bottom, not going to be able to do it though. He'll hop back into the top lane. Trying a long way around Adams here for the race lead, and he looks like he will get to the outside. He'll go side by side down the front straightaway. And coming to the line, it will be Josh Arnold in the lead. Can he clear into 1? Maybe we can clear off the 2 here for Josh. Adams trying to fight back on the bottom. It'll be Josh Arnold takes the race lead away. Now Gavin Ari looks for that 3rd place spot on Mark Kisseweather. Josh Arnold, he struggled at the tail end of that first run there, so he's looking to try and get some traction here. Hoping he does not kind of have it fall apart like he did last time. And so far, single file through the field, through all 7 cars out there on the racetrack. Josh Arnold holding on pretty strong right now as we're inching closer to that halfway point of this one. So far, looking strong for Josh Arnold out in the front as he's staying to the top lane. Likes to grip up there, likes to speed up there, so he's sticking to the top upper lane right now. But Marcus Wither, he's trying to hunt down Josh Adams here for the 2nd place spot. He was leading, but then during that pit cycle, the caution came out, and unfortunately, he got trapped up down. So he was on the oldest tires out of everybody. He was the first driver to pit, but he's trying to get back to the race lead now. Like kind of how we saw at the start of the last round, top 4 pulling away, so Jonathan Parker falling back, so that could be just kind of a dirty air, clean air thing. Travis is very important here. It's also a fight for the stage win as well. Parker trying to get some extra stage wins here. Marcus Wither down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Thought about diving down the low side of Josh Adams. Not going to be able to do it. He'll go back to the top lane. On the front stretch, Mark Kisseweather will jump down to the bottom. Side by side here. 2 laps to go here in stage number 2. Josh Arnold trying to pick up an extra stage, 1 more stage win on the year. So slot back behind Josh Adams there. Final lap here for stage number 2. Mark Kisseweather not able to get the move done on Josh Adams. So it'll be Josh Arnold holding the lead here on the final lap of stage number 2 to complete the final stage of the year. We'll end the final stage of the season. So far down the front straightaway, Josh Arnold leads the field. He's got Josh Adams behind him. Mark Kisseweather sitting there in 3rd. It will be Josh Arnold off a turn for 4, looking to take his final stage win of the season. Josh Arnold will win stage 2 as we go past the halfway point in this one. 66 down, 66 to go here from the American Racing Virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway. Still leads the field as now Marcus with a runner attack here from Gable Nahari here for that 3rd place spot. Let's Gable Nahari falling back, jumping up in front as Marcus will start to fall back just a tad bit here. It is Gable Nahari able to take that 3rd place spot away, as so far it is Marcus will start to fall back a little bit. Now he's about to fall back into the clutches of Jonathan Parker once again. Jonathan Parker is a little bit stronger on this run this time by. Is in that first run he started to struggle after about 35 to 40 laps into the run. He really started to struggle. He started to fall back a little bit. But so far, Gable Nahari down the back straightaway has a really good run off the turn. So he's going to jump down to the bottom with Josh Adams here, just side by side into turn number 3. Nahari will jump to the bottom, almost able to make it to the inside of Josh Arnold as well, as he will clear up in front of Josh Adams, but he actually gets alongside for the race lead of Josh Arnold now, down the front straightaway here into turn number 1. Nahari looking for the lead, and Gable Nahari off of turn number 4. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it will. Gable Nahari will go to the race lead as Josh Arnold now falls back to 2nd. Now he's under attack from the other Josh Adams here tonight. Into turn number 1, off turn number 4, Adams will clear, so Arnold will start to struggle here, as kind of what we saw once we got on the middle later point of that run. His tires really starting to struggle, he's really starting to fall off. And now he's just getting swarmed by the rest of the field. Now Jonathan Parker and Marcus looking both to split them as they are side by side for 4th, but now can't do it though, as Jonathan Parker almost got to the inside of Josh Arnold there. But Arnold shut the door off of Mark Kisseweather. But Arnold running in the middle of the racetrack trying to find some clean air. Kisseweather trying to find clean air as well behind for him, and Jonathan Parker on the bottom. But they're still side by side for the 4th place spot between our main 2 championship contenders here tonight. Josh Arnold, or 3 actually as well, so Josh Arnold are all 3 for championship contenders right here. Unfortunately for Arnold, in a just attack, he's going hard on the inside wall. He's going to bounce back up the racetrack. No caution. So he'll keep it on the apron. He'll pull it into the infield road course where the backstretch chicane is at. He's going to pull it around 360, but a hard hit there. I was just saying, unfortunately for Josh Arnold and Mark Kisseweather, Jonathan Parker kind of locked up that championship already with the stage finishes. But it looks like Jonathan Parker just drifted up a little bit off the corner, got into Josh Arnold and sent him around. No caution, we stay green, but that's going to no doubt end any chances of Josh Arnold's race tonight. As that shakes him up as well, as Jonathan Parker lost a lot of time there as well, as he fallen all the way back behind Sean Osborne for that 5th place spot. So he's really trying to fall back down. So far, still Dahari that leads the field by about half a second over Josh Adams and Mark Kissweather. Kissweather trying to close the gap. He's trying to get back to Josh Adams for now. Jonathan Parker was running by John Osborne laps ago. Now that they're nose to tail on back for McGuire here for 4th, 5th, and 6th. As John Osborne to the outside, gets Jonathan Parker to his outside. As now Parker's running in back by as he had contact with Josh Arnold. Also moving into the tonight portion of this race. Marcus moving to the top lane, trying to make something happen. Now 50 laps to go. Dahari is holding a pretty strong gap. Not losing any time there for now. This gap's starting to open up. Jonathan Parker did get up to 4th place and got by Chase McGuire and John Osborne, but he's now 1.5 seconds back for Mark Kissweather. John Osborne is trying to hop around the outside of Chase McGuire to the top 5. Josh Arnold does look like he has pulled it into the pits as well, so now we're down to 6 cars. We still have 7 cars running on the racetrack. 6 cars here. As Mike Campbell's still running, we use 12 laps down. Steve Andrews moved off for the night. Same for Josh Arnold. Looks like Osborne now drives it out of the bottom with Chase McGuire, trying to pick up an extra spot here. It looks like he will be able to off turn. Like I said, he's going to shut the door, and he will, so John Osborne will take that spot away and he'll move up to 5th. But now Chase McGuire tries to fight back to the bottom. Not much to fight with there. Now under 50 laps to go. We are now in the final pit window of the night. So they will have to make one more pit stop once the night is over. So far looking strong, Diego Dahari. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties currently. Apologies for the delay, so we're going to have to take a quick break. We'll be right back here from Charlotte. Welcome back here to Charlotte. Apologies for the technical difficulties there. Had to give you the simulator there, but not much. Currently not missing a little too much. Just Kevin Hardy has fallen back a little bit. He's fallen back to third. Jonathan Parker jumps up to second, but now Josh Adams in the race lead. David Hardy comes down pit road, so it looks like we're making their final stops of these drivers making their final stops of the night. So now we'll bring up our tickers. Back up. But currently, Josh Adams still leads by about 3/10 over Jonathan Parker. John Osborne jumps up to third as David Hardy has came down pit road. So currently holding at 6th place spot now as he's down pit road for the final time tonight. Josh Arnold has pitted as well, but Josh Arnold, Mike Campbell, but Josh Adams, huge wreck on the pit road, hit the barrels. It's Josh Adams, heavy damage as he gets into the wall. As he just missed pit road, and pit road being treacherous to get on and off. Especially in Charlotte, he just overdrove it, lost the back end hard into the barriers, and that's going to be his night over as he's broken that right rear toe link. And now we're down to 5 cars out on the racetrack. But Josh Adams, that's quickly his night over from the lead. Mark Kisweather having the same issue as well, spinning it on the pit road. Luckily, he looks like he's able to regather it mostly, but that will cost him some time. John Osborne still stays out on the racetrack, still with the race lead. He does have to pit within about the next 10 laps or so. But he does have to make one more stop, but if he does happen to get a quick yellow here, get an opportunity. But chase required down pit road. John Osborne staying out again, so he's going to lap the field here. As Kevin Hardy looks like he's out back on the racetrack. Jonathan Parker just behind him. So those two will be. Looks like they will be our net race leaders. Chase required just getting out of pit road, as he will no doubt fall behind Kevin Hardy and Jonathan Parker. Mark Kisweather falling way back as well. Josh Adams out of this one after that incident. Mike Gamble is 14 laps down, still running. Josh Arnold is actually out there running too, but they're 14 laps down. Steve Maggio's still in pit road, so only down to 5 cars back on the lap. But John Osborne down pit road. He's going to spin it out as he did spin on pit road, speed on the pit road, and another pit road mistake. There were so many pit road mistakes for the final pit stop of the year. It looks like John Osborne has called it a night after that one. And it looks like, so now we're down to 4 cars on the lead lap after that one. Still running, and only 2 of them looks like within striking distance of each other. So Jonathan Parker now 1 second back from Gamble to Hari. 32 laps to go here from Charlotte. Kevin Hardy still holds the race lead by 1 second over Jonathan Parker right now. So 30 laps to go left in this season 6 of the NAOR Cup Series. the field by about a second over Jonathan Parker. Only 4 cars still on the lead lap and in contention to win this race. Sean Osborne wrecking on pit road. Same with Josh Adams. Mark Hessler almost wrecked it on pit road. He's lost 5 seconds off pit road. So everyone making massive and fatal pit road mistakes on the final pit stop of the year. Now the 4 drivers still left to contend out for the race win, but if you stay green, looks like it's right now it's only going to be David Ari or Jonathan Parker. Marcus are going to have a lot of work to do to gain 5 seconds in the last 26 laps. Same with Chase McGuire, they're going to need a lot of work to gain 12 seconds. But David Ari looking to pick up his 4th win on the year to cap it off. Jonathan Parker, no doubt at now, going to be our champion and go back to back for championships. He's got 25 laps to go before he's fully done, before he is officially crowned the champion. Jonathan Parker, though, he looked a little bit weaker in those first run. It looked like his tire just didn't have as great as tire wear as he used to have. He's looking to try and cap it off, and with one more win, to go. Jonathan Parker is hunting down David Ari here. He's now half a second back. He was about a second back about 10 laps ago. He's closing the gap in, but how tough is this pass going to be? You know, it can be tough to pass, try to break through that dirty air bubble. Clean air definitely going to be a big factor. Who kind of wins this one. We'll see if David Ari, how well he can hold on. He also really kicks up the pace the last 10 or so laps of the run, so we'll see if Dahari maybe just save it a little bit now, just going to keep him out of striking distance, but just saving a little bit now so he can just try to pull away at the last bit if he has to. This time by now with 20 laps to go here on the season. Dahari looking strong. He's across the line with 20 laps to go. Jonathan Parker slowly closing the gap as Josh Arnold, he now jumps up to 5th, and Mike Campbell jumps up to 6th. As they're both on the same lap, so they will be battling for a top 5. The gap for those drivers, though, about 3.5 seconds in favor of Josh Arnold. They jump up in front of John Osborne as called the night, same as Josh Adams as well. Steve Adjui's called the night, so the 7th, 8th, and 9th are now all locked in position. Here, then we'll be able to jump out in front of you. It will be the battle for the win here. That's going to be the last battle on this racetrack. 0.2 of a second now. It's just under 3 for Jonathan Parker. Can he close the gap and still has 19 laps to go? He's got some time to maybe try and set up this pass, but he's got to be careful. You don't want to overheat your tires in the back in the dirty air. But here with 18 to go, still a long way left in this one. With 2 cars left out on the racetrack, that will lead. Jonathan Parker, no doubt, going to be our champion of the season. He's just looking to got a little bit more bragging rights and style with one more win. Gabriel Dahari joined later in the season, did not have a chance to make the playoffs. He's looking to get one more win at a pride and bragging rights as well, but with 17 laps to go, who will be able to go out on top for the final race of the season. Dahari a little bit quicker though now. He's back up to about a 4/10 of a second lead. Last time by it was a 0.62 for Dahari and a 1.18 for Parker. So Parker just about a half a tenth slower last time by. So you can pull it a little bit closer this time by, and looks like he will. He's going to be about 3/10 behind him now. See now, last time by about just under a tenth faster for Jonathan Parker. Let's take a look at those the last few laps between these two drivers. Jonathan Parker is just a little bit slower than 2 laps before here. As we'll see, the gap is still about 3/10 of a second. Gabriel Dahari trying to close the gap, but can't get there just yet. Trying to extend the gap, but just Jonathan Parker can't get there just yet either. 16,000 of a second slower for Jonathan Parker. He's just slowly trading some lap times between these two. About 15 laps to go here from Charlotte in the final race of the season. Jonathan Parker 3/10 behind, almost getting to the back bumper of Gabriel Dahari. Laps to go. Jonathan Parker, he's closing the gap down to 2/10 of a second. He is faster, but he's just can't find the clean air. He hasn't taken to the top lane just yet, but Dahari gets loose on the off turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, Dahari gets loose. The mistake that Jonathan Parker needed. They're going to go side by side into 3 and 4. Can he clear into 3? Yes, he will. Takes quick advantage. Pounces on the mistake from Gabriel Dahari. And Jonathan Parker takes the lead with 12 laps to go. And I believe that's going to be costly for Gabriel Dahari. He's going to try and drive into the back bumper. Jonathan Parker wanted maybe Parker packed a little bit of air on the back bumper of Gabriel Dahari. He made a little bit loose, but it looked like he made a little bit close. But Gabriel Dahari's got another opportunity here. He's right on the back bumper of Jonathan Parker in 3 and 4. But Parker will promptly go to the top lane and just defend as much as he can on the top. Dahari will jump down on the bottom. He will stay side by side for Jonathan Parker as they will go back for the side by side for lead here with 11 laps to go. But Dahari back to the bottom. He's going to try and slide above on turn number 2. Is it going to be enough? No, it won't. Parker will still stick to the top lane. They still stay side by side to the back straightaway. Only 2 drivers left to compete with this for this win right now, but they're making a show out of it. But Jonathan Parker still clears, and I think he might be able to pull away now as Dahari on the top lane. He's going to try and get a run, but he's starting to fall away just a little bit, starting to stagnate out as the gap is now at 1.5 tenths. Dahari trying to work the outside lane, trying to make something happen. Just can't get the run off. The tire's just not as strong as Jonathan Parker's was. But with 9 to go, he's still putting up a fight, hoping Jonathan Parker makes a mistake. Like Dahari did. Dahari made a crucial mistake that may have cost him this win. He's got a really good drive through 1 and 2. Looks a little bit loose, but he's holding on to it still, about 10th and a half back for Gabriel Dahari. Trying to fight every last bit he has left. He wants this race win, wants to close out the year with a win. Same with Jonathan Parker. Jonathan Parker already going to have the championship tonight. But he's looking for one more win. Gap just about a 10th of a second. Dahari ripping the top lane, going to the kind of running that middle seam there in 1 and 2. He's getting a little bit loose off the corners, but he's getting the runs enough if he can, just can't find the move to dive into the inside or drive around the outside of Jonathan Parker just yet. Parker clearly giving him the top lane, just saving a little bit of tires on the bottom. I mean, Dari overdrive the corner, and Dari gets loose and gets to the outside wall. And that's going to cost him crucial time, and I think that's going to be it for Yewa Dari. He's not going to make up half a second now, especially he's going to have the damage to those tires, damage to that a little bit of damage to that race car. Now he's just starting to bleed time now, and Jonathan Parker, hard fought battle within 10 to go, looking like he will be the race winner along with the championship with 6 laps to go. Jonathan Parker. You saw him last season. He was very dominant all season long. It took him a little bit to get his first win on the year. Unlike last year, it took him a little bit. He won at Le Mans for his first win, and then he went back-to-back, won it at Iowa. A few weeks later, he'd back it up and win it. He'd win it at Texas. 2 weeks later, he'd win at Darlington. Since then, he had a little bit of a dry stretch, a couple second-place finishes, a third-place finish, but just not really the finishes he was hoping for. Since then, but they came back 3 weeks ago at Kansas and picked up his 5th win on the year. Then he went to Michigan. He thought he may not be, early in the race at Michigan, he thought he may not be the favorite. He thought he may have a little bit of weakness showing. Marcus Weather was looking strong in that race to maybe outpoint Jonathan Parker. But Jonathan Parker at Michigan, he was able to lock into that final run, able to drive up through the field, and would hold off in a battle late with Matthew O'Brien at Michigan. He picked up his 5th win on the year. Well, sorry, 6th win on the year. Last week at Bristol, they didn't get the win. He started second, and he finished second at Bristol last week. But he got the points advantage he wanted. With 2 laps to go now, Jonathan Parker is 3 miles away from becoming a back-to-back NAOR Cup Series champion. It's been another dominant year for Jonathan Parker. Looking for his 7th win on the year to close out this historic championship season. Another dominant year. He had to do it from a different format this year. He had to go through some playoffs instead of just a chase. But now he's 1.5 miles away for looking for his 7th win on the year. The most dominant driver of all season long. Adding another top 5 to his name, becoming 7 more top 5s than any other driver on the year, making his 16 top 5s, and he'll have 18 top 10s. He's 11 stage wins, didn't get any stage wins tonight, but he's looking to go for race win number 7. Off of turn number 4, Jonathan Parker, he will win at the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it will be your Season 6 NAOR Cup Series champion. What another dominant performance, a dominant season for Jonathan Parker. And he'll cap it out with win number 7 on the year. He'll turn around and do his Polish victory lap. and a well-deserved one for his back-to-back championships. Should be able to burn it down for the 7th time this year, and this one a little bit more special as he caps off the year with another championship. It's another dominant performance all season long. He had to fight through a little bit through the final end, but he capitalized on a mistake that gave it to Hari late. He'll do his backward victory lap all the way around. And Jonathan Parker, 7 wins on the year. Got so many stage points. Easily won the most amount of stages all year long as well. Just imagine he had 7 more top 5s than anybody else all season long. Just such more consistent, and now he will burn it down for the final time this season here at Charlotte. He will be crowned the NAOR Season 6 Cup Series champion. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with our post-race interviews here from Charlotte.
NJBDesigns.com, we specialize in transforming your vehicle into a work of art by revolutionizing the way you see your car with the hottest trends in sim racing. Choose from a wide range of colors, textures, finishes to promote your business and sponsors in style. Whether you're looking to add a sleek matte finish, a flashy chrome accent, or a custom design that turns heads, our designers have you covered. If you want to stand out in the crowd, visit njbdesigns.com today and let our team of professionals transform your vision into reality.
Is going to take the victory 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's going to get through it all and score his first career win. Saturday Night Racing League and throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
Welcome back here to Charlotte as we just wrapped up the season finale for the race number 26 of the NAOR Cup Series Season 6. So we will talk to our post-race, we'll get our post-race interview to talk to our top 3 finishers and our champion of Jonathan Parker here tonight in just a moment. Before we get to that, let's take a look at our final results here for tonight's season finale here from the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway. It was Jonathan Parker able to win over Gable Hari, able to get the move done within 15 laps to go. Gable Hari finishing second here tonight. Mark Kissler around at the top 3. We'll talk to those 3 in just a moment. Chase McGrath finishing 4th tonight. Josh Arnold will finish 5th. Mike Campbell finishing 6th tonight. John Osborne in 7th. Josh Adams finishing 8th tonight. Stephen Maggio 9th. And Ethan Von Moreno rounds our 10 car field here tonight. But now we will take it to Pizza and Wings Gaming Victory Lane for the final time this season. As Jonathan Parker, our Season 6 champion, and also our race winner tonight. We're going to talk to you about your championship. Just kind of talk us through, how do you think tonight's race went tonight?
Yeah, it started out weird because I thought the track was going to go one way. I thought it was going to be really loose, and I thought the top was going to be dominant. Just looking at lap times from practice, but the practice was a lot hotter, so that was a very failed hypothesis. So my first run didn't go quite as well as I hoped, but after that I kind of changed my approach, and I was able to kind of put consistent laps together and have a fun race there with Josh Adams, Gabriel Dahari, Mark Kissenweather, Josh Arnold, all of them guys.
Yeah, but you're able to pick up the win tonight, cap off your dominant season once again with a win. But just kind of talk us through, how do you think your win overall, and just able to pick up your back-to-back championships here for the NAOR Cup Series?
Yeah, a couple seasons ago, I won the last race, but I couldn't quite get the championship, and I didn't want that feeling again. I did not want that. That didn't feel too good, and so it's just, I knew I had to be consistent, and I think that might be 3 different formats I won it under too, so that... It kind of they're all unique in their own special ways, those 3 championships. A couple of them were different cars too. We were in the Gen 6 for the first one. So yeah, it was kind of an up and down season. Like I just went through some periods where I had some lulls, and I just it wasn't necessarily a lack of speed, it was just a lack of execution, and I knew I needed to not do stupid stuff in the playoffs, and in the playoffs I put it mostly together, and we were able to get a couple wins in the playoffs and grab the championship.
And you pick up your back-to-back championships here tonight. But before we send off on the way, any sponsor link for tonight's race win, your championship, and just overall your season?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Lowe's and Cobalt Tools and the Coca-Cola Company, and specifically Mellow Yellow. I'd like to thank the Chad and Earl Spotter Pack. I'd like to give a shout out to Christian Pacheco for making this car, and he's awesome. I'd like to give a shout out to everybody who participated this season. All the admins, Josh Arnold for putting this show together. Shout out to you guys up in the LRM booth. Appreciate you guys broadcasting this most weeks. Most weeks we had a broadcast. So I appreciate you guys. You guys do a great job. And give a shout out specifically to Dahari, Kissweather, Josh Arnold, and Josh Adams, everyone who was battling up front. We were all just in that big old pack, and it was a lot of fun. I do want to give an apology to Josh Arnold. We got together a little bit there. He wasn't bad, thankfully. I feel a little bad. I need to look at a replay, but I feel bad that I ended his day. And I'll give one more shout out to Christian Pacheco because he's awesome.
Once again, congrats on your race win here tonight and your championship and your just season, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
So that was Jonathan Parker, our race winner here tonight and our Season 6 champion. And now we'll talk to our second place finisher tonight of Gabriel Dahari. You had to fight for it late. Yeah, you had to fight against Jonathan Parker there in those last couple of laps there. What do you think could have done differently there? Maybe try and steal that race win away.
Yeah, I don't think there was a whole lot I could have done. He had slightly fresher tires than me, and I slid past my box during the pit cycle, so that cost me a bit of time. Maybe if I didn't do that, I would have had a better shot. But once he got past me, I don't think there was really much I could have done other than just pack air on him as hard as I could. But I didn't really want to do that. I was trying to generate a run on the outside, stepped on the gas a bit too much, had a little wiggle, got up in the wall, got some damage, and it was pretty much the end of my shot that went after that.
Yeah, but overall, you're still able to run another solid race here tonight. Pick up another solid second place run. You joined a little bit later in the season. You didn't have an opportunity to kind of race for the championship in the playoffs, but just overall, ever since you kind of joined the Cup Series this season, you had a pretty solid run. So just kind of talk us through, kind of your season. What do you think you could have done better, and maybe just kind of reflect on your season.
Yeah, I think I did pretty good overall. Had some pretty decent finishes. I enjoy racing here. It's they experiment with getting the car loose a lot, which I'm a big fan of. So yeah, I'm a big supporter of that. Might make a run at it next season. That'd be fun.
And once again, congrats tonight on your second place finish. But before we start off, by the way, any sponsors like think for tonight's second place run?
Just shout out Steven Maggio for dying on lap 3. Shout out Arnold for running the show, and shout out you guys for broadcasting.
Once again, congrats on your second place run tonight and your season. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Have a good one.
So this is the second place finisher tonight of Gabriel Dahari, and now we'll bring in our third place finisher tonight of Mark Kissenweather. Mark Kissenweather, one of our other championship Ford drivers that were in tonight. Tonight you ended up finishing third tonight. You had a pit road mistake there, but just kind of talk us through your game plan in the night. You answered 21 points behind Jonathan Parker for the championship tonight. So kind of what was your game plan tonight to try and steal all those points away and try to win the championship?
I just had a hope for misfortune, I think, on Parker, but it didn't happen. And I mean, I gained like 1 point on him in the first stage, and I just tried to keep that momentum going. But once I got out of clean air, it was kind of hard for me to rebound and keep my car under me and stuff. And then yeah, I just had my brakes too far back going into the pits and hit the brakes too hard, and it spun out on me.
Even with that mistake, you're still able to pick up a very solid third place run tonight, able to kind of recover a little bit from that. But just kind of how do you think your season went overall? You're close to again at the championship here tonight, but just kind of let's talk us through how do you think your season went tonight, just throughout this year?
It was an interesting season. I felt like I did really, really bad, and then I looked at the points, and I was like in the playoffs, and I was like, I don't even know how I didn't win. Just barely snuck out top fives, I guess, and just tried to finish as high up in the standings as I could before the playoffs, and then just kept doing that, and I just not getting a lot of stage points and stuff, and didn't help me coming into this round, especially with like Bristol last week finishing real bad. But overall, I thought it was a pretty okay season to finish. I think second in the points.
Still overall a really solid finish for you tonight and also throughout the season. Before we stand up, any sponsor anything for tonight's third place round and just overall throughout the season?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Matt Liveries for hopping on about halfway through the season, and Vay Lip Balm coming on for the playoffs. Josh Arnold for putting on another great NAOR season, and you guys for broadcasting the whole thing.
Once again, congrats on your third place finish here tonight. We'll see you next time in LRN.
All right, thank you.
So that was our third place finisher tonight of Mark Kissweather, rounding out our post-race interviews tonight here from Charlotte. And it wraps up another season here for the NAOR Cup Series. And season 6 was another long run, another 26 race season. It was definitely fun to watch tonight's race with Jonathan Parker. Once again, another dominant performance throughout the year, and just able to win the championship and go back to back once again. But before we wrap it up here fully here at Charlotte, coming up next year on the Legends Racing Network throughout the next couple of weeks. Now next week you do have no broadcast due to Thanksgiving, so you do have no races on Wednesday and Thursday next week, but we do have the Superstar Arca West will be back at Legacy Atlanta at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday night on December 3rd, and we'll have the Quantum Contest Series at Michigan on December 4th at Milwaukee at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time, and coming up in 2 weeks' time for that one. So once again, thank you all our viewers for tuning in throughout the entire NAOR Cup Series season, and also joining us again here tonight for the season finale here at Charlotte. I'm Aaron Brown. We're so happy for you all to join us once again. We'll see you next time on the Legends Racing Network. So long for the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway.